Hello everyone, I hope you all, this is CoinsKid. I'm just going to dive into Matic. Once again, thank you for your support, I really do appreciate it across the board. The level of support we get on this channel is amazing. So right now, Matic is doing really well, isn't it? It's creating a little bit of bearish divergence on the 4 hour. I'm going to show you that in a minute. You have got a breakout target that you are running into just here, okay? You are running into the golden ratio at the moment. I'll show you this. So you run into the golden ratio, the 0618 at $1.54 at the moment, with a bearish divergence on the 4 hourly time frame and a bit of a rising wedge as well. So do anticipate that you could have a little roll here coming back down to the 050 at $1.29. Just a little correction. I think you're looking at potentially, you know, it is potential, probably a little 14% correction down to the 050. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but you are creating these little bearish divergences. I think it's the one on the daily. There's even one on the daily just there. Look, you've had that little wick high, and with these divergences, they potentially just spell a little bit of a roll in the market, because this is what happens. Things go in waveforms, okay? But it doesn't mean it has to happen. I'm just making you aware that if you do start to see a loss of support, which I will show you in a moment, you are looking at a little retest of this 050, which is normal, okay? So you break resistance, fall back to support, come back up, break resistance, fall back to support. Works in waveforms, you know, and a little retest at 129 might offer you a fantastic little opportunity, because on the daily you've got this beautiful buy and go to the beach signal here from CoinsKid. You held this support like a boss. I think in a previous video I said to you, you know, you're looking good, but if you do start to roll back, you need to hold this as solid, because if you do start to roll through that, you know, you've got your little bear market scenario right there. And this is what I'm doing in all the videos, okay? I'm making people aware that if you lose structural support, you will enter a bear market. I don't see it, but there is always the possibility of it. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you do enter a bear market for Matic, I don't know if I did this in a previous update, but you're looking at around about a 95% depreciation down here. So, you know, roughly off the bat, where are we? Down here. I'm gonna have to do that again. So from this top just here, the bear market is usually around about 95% correction. So roughly down there, you know, you will be looking at that for Matic in a bear market. Just so you're aware that if you lose structural support, you are looking at an 11-cent bear market bottom for Matic just there, and that's what happens. You know, alts get absolutely obliterated in bear markets, trust me. But anyway, so far you're doing relatively well. You've broken out of key levels of resistance. You're coming up against the golden ratio. Now if you want to melt through that and get through the 786 as well, you are looking at a full retracement here, and this is a new impulsive wave up, coming back up, break this high at 269. You will be looking at continuation, and you will be looking at a 1618 extension, and you potentially be looking at a $6.67 price tag for Matic in this bull run, okay? Providing you can break the resistance, backtest and hold support, you're looking for continuation. Okay, so right now you're getting a little bit overextended, aren't you? On the daily, you run into resistance just there. You've got a bearish divergence on the daily as well. So you are looking for a little potential roll just there. So, you know, these are your levels that you need to break through for continuation, but it's not going to be an easy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride, so you know. And this is your bear market low. If you lose this low, 0.62 cents. Okay, if you lose 62 cents on the daily, you start coming down, you've fallen under the EMAs, that in itself is a potential precursor that you are actually entering a bear market here. Lose this low, you're looking at a multi-year bear market down here, and that is the low in the bear. Okay, you're aware. I'm just making you aware. It doesn't mean it has to happen, but I'll always show you the key levels of support and resistance moving forward. But you are in a bullish cross, which is great. So right now I'm going to show you the 4 hourly time frame, okay, what we can see for Matic. See, just there is a bit of a rising wedge that's forming just here for Matic. I'll show you. Doesn't mean it has to carry out the correction, because everything is really bullish, really bullish on all time frames. So you've got this level of support there, and you're creating a slight level of resistance, an ascending level of resistance, and you're coming closer and closer to the apex just there. Okay, something like this, where potentially if you start to lose support, this way you can see yourself coming back down to where you form the wedge, and you could be looking at a retest of 129 before getting that continuation and breaking this 0.618. So you could be looking at, if you fall out of this support of this rising wedge right here, you start to lose the 20 on the 4 hourly time frame, do anticipate a little short op down there around about 12%. Just a little pullback, you know, bring you back down to earth, back down to gravity, because at the minute you're creating a little bearish divergence just there. Okay, look, so in the stock, in the RSI, sorry, you've got a high, and then a lower high, and then you've got another lower high, and you can see each time that you do have that, this is where you get a little pullback. Look, so you got just a bearish divergence, and what happened, you roll back, and here, look, you're creating another bearish divergence between that high and that high. So what you're doing, you're rolling back just there. You can obviously break up to the upside, just so you know, rising wedges can break to the upside. Now if you do start to come up here and continue, you know, you can equally break out, full transparency, come towards the apex of this rising wedge. You've got a 32% chance of a breakout to the upside and a 68% chance of a pullback to the downside. Now I've seen many rising wedges break out to the upside before. This is why you got to come to your charts, because this is an ascending level of resistance, and this is an ascending level of support. Rising wedge, look, boom, 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 boom. You know, you will get a decision quite imminently, to be honest with you, which direction this is actually going to go. Now your breakout target, if you obviously do come to the upside, because you can, obviously, like I've said to you, you know, these things do break up. This is your technical target right now, and the way you measure a rising wedge technical target to the upside is your first point of contact on the first high to the low, and that's your technical target if you break out to the upside like this. Look, so basically from there to there, if you was to break out and up to the upside, you will be looking at a $1.78 Matic token price tag, and then obviously equally, if you lose support, you come back down to where you form the low of the rising wedge, which would see you test a retest. See you retest a 0.50 support at 129. So there's your technical targets at the moment. Okay, it's looking relatively healthy for continuation, but these little pullbacks and these little waveforms are part and parcel of the moves that we go through. There is a W bottom just there actually that it's actually broken out of. I'm going to look at that on the daily. Well, I say a W bottom, it's not even a W bottom really, it's a inverse head and shoulders, to be honest with you, and it is actually breaking out, isn't it? So this is your level of resistance just there. So you've got like this left shoulder, your head, and you sort of form this little right shoulder there. Do you see that? So that's the right shoulder, and where you create a level of resistance for yourself, and you do have a breakout target, technical breakout target, which you've already broken out of, to be honest with you. So you are looking to move higher in this bull market, but you do need sometimes to come back to support, and you can see right now that at 20 is where your support would be on the 5.0. So do anticipate that if you was to lose support of this wedge, it's healthy basically, you know, because you're not completely overbought on the daily either. You know, this is your level of being overbought just there, and it works in waveforms. So if you do have a little rollover, this is potentially where you got that slingshot higher to break this high and get continued here in this bull market, bringing you up to these levels. So it's healthy, you know, healthy to see pullbacks. I'm not saying it will happen, but you've got your support targets right there, because just there you are actually in a technical target too, and that is $1.74, isn't it, off this inverse head and shoulders. It's not pretty, but it is a reversal pattern just here, and you are carrying out, you broke out of it just here, and you are on your way, but you run into resistance along the way. That's normal, okay? So you are in an upside technical target. Again, if you do start to lose this level of support here from Matic, that actually could be quite bad within itself, that you're losing structural support there, and you're falling back under previous resistance, and you're no longer holding it as support. So if you do start to see a deeper roll, okay, and you start to see the loss of 120 on the daily or on the 4 hourly especially, then you could be looking at a bit of a reversal here, coming back down. You know, this is where you could actually enter the bear market right there for Matic. So I'll always tell you what I see, okay? There is the probability of a dead cat bounce. You're fully aware of that, okay? I've taught you about that in the space, okay? So until we break out these levels of resistance right here, and obviously equally break this high, you know, there is still the threat there, and I'll always make you aware. So, but yeah, it's looking good. It's looking bullish. You're in a beautiful area in the RSI. It's not like you're completely overbought on the daily. You know, I would be a little bit more concerned here if you was coming up to the golden ratio in the dead cat bounce scenario, and you was up here. You know what I mean? Like you have been here when you get really overbought. That to me would say, wow, you're looking at a definite roll here. But you're not. You've got a lot of more room to actually go up and break this high and get continued with the trend right there. So it's looking relatively good. Take care, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that update on Matic. Stay healthy, stay strong, and thank you for your support. And that looks a bit rude, doesn't it? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.